Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Warning Track here at Sports.com. Brett Quintine with you, and you know what? Here at the Warning Track, we talk everything baseball. We talk about the players, we talk about the teams, we talk about the issues, but more importantly, we want to know what's on you guys' mind. 347-480-1724 is the number to call, and over the last few episodes, we have mentioned we're going to have various players, former players, current players, the whole 9 yards. And fortunately, here at the Warning Track, we're joined by former big leaguer Brad Leslie. Brad, hey, great to talk to you today. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic, my friend. How are you?
Doing well. Well, I want to say that you're probably in warmer climates than we are. Are you in Scottsdale, Arizona right now?
No, I'm not. I'm on the Universal Studios lot here. We're filming a movie, and it's about 80 degrees. So
Well,
it's a beautiful day in Southern California.
outstanding. Arizona, California, all that good stuff. I can say for the most part, you're probably about 30 degrees ahead of us. Well, while I have you on the line, and of course, time is definitely precious, you mentioned you're on a movie lot. I guess take us through some of the movies you've done, because I think you've done a movie with one of the more famous athletes around by the name of Michael Jordan.
Yes, indeed. I did Space Jam with Michael Jordan. That was a kick in the butt standing on the mountain trying to go after him. A little big league, Mr. Baseball. I've done a lot of baseball movies and hitch guy movies. Yeah, you know, it kind of found me. I had no passion to do this. It kind of found me when I finished my career in Japan. I was the perfect bad guy, 6'6", round-eyed and spoke Japanese. You know, I was a perfect bad guy. I died the ugly death at the end of the show, and everybody was happy.
Well, I'll say this, before you ended your career, you obviously started your career. Looking at some of your numbers and stats, you obviously spent a few years in the major leagues with both Cincinnati and Milwaukee, but before that, it looked like you were a number one pick not once but twice.
Yeah. Wow.
Am I bringing you back a little bit?
I put it this way. I was finished my 10th Cincinnati Reds fantasy camp down in Arizona, a new complex, and it was a big time. It's one thing getting the call to the big leagues. It's another thing your first night up there looking in and Johnny Bench is giving you the signs. It's somebody you don't want to shake off.
Absolutely. Well, I was going to say you definitely played with at least two Hall of Famers. You mentioned Johnny Bench as the catcher. I believe Tom Seaver started the game in which you made your major league debut. Is that right?
That's correct. I saved his last game with the Reds.
Okay.
His last win with the Reds, I got to save. Yeah, it was a pleasure playing with Tom. Terrific. What a work ethic. What a mind. He was amazing.
Now you have a nickname called the Animal, and you've certainly described your height and weight, and you're not somebody I'd like to mess with. Where did the Animal come about?
It came from Cincinnati.
Okay.
When I got to the big leagues, it just I screamed. I think Bench told the reporter one thing, you know, he was playing first base because we rested him off and towards the back. It is bad. I grabbed on the right side and went running to first base. And I, screamed, "Give me the effing ball, JB!" And he later told the kid Animal at me.
That's crazy. Now, as far as the Reds and the Brewers, obviously you played with those teams, but you also had a stint in Japan, and you, if I'm correct, not only did you play in Japan, but you became a personality over there as well.
Yeah, Japan was good to me. I spent 10 years. I played only 2. I had my own TV show. I speak the language. Still go back to Japan. Japan's been very good to me. I enjoyed my time immensely in Japan.
Now, were there a lot of other major leaguers? Because what we've seen from, obviously there's been an influx of Japanese ball players over the last, we'll say, not only 10 years, maybe the last 15 years or so playing here in the States. Mm-hmm. But when you were in Japan, who were some of the guys that you were competing with? Was it a lot of the Americans who were kind of finishing up their careers, or were there some rising stars who might have had a stint in the big leagues here in the States?
I would say more like it was who was there? Randy Bass was there, who was a journeyman with the Astros and the Padres, who set, a couple records over there. Bill Gullickson there. Gully had a decent career here.
With the Expos, sure.
Sorry?
I believe he was with the Expos, correct?
Yeah, exactly. He was with the Expos. Warren Cromartie was another Expo that was over there.
Now, how close?
So, I mean,
how close are you to the game these days? As far as are you active with?
Pretty close.
Hmm?
I'm pretty close. I've got a 14-year-old that lives and dies with the San Francisco Giants, and I mean, I manage his club, and I see my different friends when they come into town here to LA to play the Dodgers or whatever. I'm pretty close, and even closer is I have a thing going in Nicaragua and I'm doing this with Stewart, Old Smoke, and Reggie Smith, a couple old Dodgers.
Wow, I definitely recall Reggie Smith.
And we now have Roberto Clemente Jr. on board with us as well, and we're carrying out his father's mission of what he sacrificed his life for. I've done some clinics down there, as has Reggie and Dave, and it is an untapped resource. These kids can play. They love the game. There's very little money down there, and they'll make a ball field out of it.
It definitely seems like you really are very much, like you said, not only your son, but just helping others. And I will definitely commend you on that, because not only in the game of baseball, but obviously just in general, our youth really need to be encouraged in whether it's going to playing sports, whether it's moving into any type of
Let's cut to the chase here. Baseball has opened every door I've ever walked through.
Okay.
I can never repay this game. I mean, the films I've done, the travels I've made, baseball has opened every door I've ever walked through. So the chance that I have to do something and give back, and maybe give another kid some of the teachings I've learned from Seaver and Bench, if I can share that with a young kid, that he can apply it to his own career. And I mean, this is just the passing of the baton, and I'm glad I've got the arena to do it in.
It definitely sounds like you have fully enjoyed the game. You love what you're doing. I will ask you a couple more quick questions. As far
Absolutely.
as just some mentors, you mentioned the players, obviously, in Seaver and Bench. How about from a managerial or coaching standpoint? Who were some of the guys who might have instilled a couple of things on you, just as far as you carrying on, not only on the field, but off the field?
Very good question. Very good question. I got to tell you, when I was 22, I came to the big leagues, and I was surrounded with players like with Perez, with Sion, with Seaver. So while Johnny McNamara was the group skipper,
Okay.
I learned to act from the Hall of Fame that surrounded me.
Sure.
There was absolute outfit I was brought to the big leagues with. From Milwaukee, very close to Young, with Rich, Teddy Simmons, guys that have been in the trenches, man, old school ball players, and they teach you how to act.
Absolutely.
And I really think those guys are the foundation of the game we see today. Those guys were hardcore, and they did it for the love of the game. I mean, I think, I hope I'm not out of line saying this, but I think Johnny's biggest year made $379,000, and that's less than the major league minimum today.
Wow.
And what is a Johnny Bench worth today in his prime?
That's crazy. You're absolutely right, and that was going to lead me to my next question for you. How has the game changed today, or better yet, if you could change one thing about the game, whether it's a rule, whether it's just conduct, what would be the one thing that you would change if you had that ability?
I think the umpires have got to let pitchers pitch inside again, and I think we need to do away with the American League rules. Baseball should be 9-on-9. Pitchers should hit my best 9, this your best 9. I'm all for keeping the aging slugger around, but if he can't play defense, he shouldn't be on the field. That much more incentive to keep him healthy and to do the things he has to do to play baseball. I think baseball does a pretty good job of fan service, and that's something that really, excuse my French, but pissed me off in Japan, that the players and fans were kept at such a distance.
Wow.
I think Major League Baseball does a good job of fan service, giving back to the fans. Because, I mean, it doesn't take a surgeon to realize when the fans quit watching or going to the ball game, these fat salaries dry up.
That's absolutely
And
true.
it needs to be more about the fans. And I think Major League Baseball has done a pretty good job of keeping the fans abreast of what's going on and including them. And I got to tip my hat to Bud Selig and what he's done over there. It's been I had to go to Japan to see it because it's, like I said, it's kept at such a distance. I think we treat our fans very well, and it's good to see it. I'm trying to bring some of that to Japan with these fantasy camps and whatever. I mean, the thought of some physician being able to go out and play with his lifetime hero, play around the golf or have a glass of sake or something. I mean, it's just inconceivable to the Japanese.
Absolutely.
So I think we do a good job of it, but I mean, I'd like to see 9 against 9, and I'd like to see the umpires give the inside part of the plate back to the pitchers. Where 25 home runs is a monster year.
True, very true. Brad, I definitely appreciate your time, and I hope to meet you at some point down the line. You stand for a lot of things, and I definitely will say it sounds like you're one of the good guys in the game of baseball.
Brother, I appreciate those words. Thank you so much. Give Roberto my best. And you guys keep plugging away, man. I'll be here anytime for you.